Hey, we're watching the episode called Free for All in the series called The Prisoner, shown from 1967 to 68, primarily in Great Britain. Number 6, Patrick McGoohan, has agreed to run for office.
I don't think we shall need a recount. Sorry. Don't mention it.
So who won, Trump or Biden? You know, get a recount. It's all a commentary on America or on any country about elections. So number 6 looks like he wins. Well, we'll see if he's a winner.
They want number 2. Well, I haven't cast my vote. We want number 2. We want number 2. We want number 2. We want number 2. Come with me. I'll show you the ropes. We want number 2. We want number 2. Number 2.
Okay, he says, I'll show you the ropes. I'll show you what it's really like. Even though you are in office, you truly won this stupid election, it isn't going to matter. Because number 2, that is the one on the left, the true number 2, will still control, even though Patrick McGoohan on the right has won the election, and supposedly he's number 2. But watch what happens. Once again, the little butler walking around with the umbrella, kind of signifying that he represents number 1 and everything is under number 1 or the devil. And it doesn't matter that McGoohan or number 6 won the election. Did you see how excited the village people were? Now, power is what you give people. It's not necessarily a vote in an election. And although the votes were there, they are refusing to give him power. Power is what you give someone, not necessarily a position they hold.
No point in going into detail. Anything you want to know, press a button. You're the boss. Well, I'll be on my way. Thanks for everything. Aita Zona.
Leipzig Zona.
Okay, once again, those two communicating in a foreign language, meaning that they've got a lot going on that Patrick McGoohan is not aware of, and he now thinks that he's in charge of the village because he's number 2.
Wo ist Ihr Beuter? Hikaru!
Anything I can do for you?
Just checking. He's seeing you.
And you.
Und waar is je Beuter? Beuter! 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 Beuter!
Okay, it's like he's drunk with power. The power, in a sense, brings a euphoria, an intoxication. So it's like he's intoxicated now by all these gizmos and buttons and power, that somehow he truly thinks he's in charge of the village because he's pushing a bunch of stupid buttons. By the way, this sort of brings to mind to me that the illusion that many people have is because they hold a cell phone in their hand and they've got all these apps that somehow they're like Patrick McGoohan right now in the control room. They think they're in charge of everything, and they think nothing can get by them, and they think they're the boss of the village because they know their apps on their phone. Now, I'm not very good with the phone, and you might feel maybe a little offended by my comment, but it's just an observation that I've made, that technology has gone to people's heads, and they think they can control the world by the usage of their cell phone. You know, once again, the frequency, did you hear it? The beeping, the flashing lights. Okay, this is called psychotronic weapons. And I did a video, tried to direct your attention to Mr. Anthony Sutton of the Hoover Institute, who exposed psychotronic weapons. And those videos by Anthony Sutton are priceless. He seemed to be completely genuine and not a shill, telling us that this had been developed and perfected in the Soviet Union. The usage of light, flashing, frequencies, and sounds and words, and put them all together, and you've got hypnosis. And then if you add to it the usage of drugs, oh my goodness sakes. No wonder why the population looks so much like the village. Well, now, Patrick McGoohan, number 6, it's time for him to know just where he really is and who he really is. He's a prisoner. I like the way she said tick, tick. And usually the old-fashioned hypnosis, they used wristwatches. Pocket watches, not wristwatches, excuse me, pocket watches. To go back and forth, tick, tick, tick. And I find it interesting, there's some kind of a social media called TikTok or something like that. I'm sorry I'm not that familiar with all the so-called social media, which is an oxymoron. There's nothing social about social media.
Tick, tick.
Okay, back to the old-fashioned hypnosis. When they snap their finger, that either put them in the trance or took them out of the trance. She's going to try to now take him out of the trance and let him know he's not number 2. Let him know he's still a prisoner in the village.
Tick, tick. Tick, tick.
This is our chance. This is our chance. Take it now. I have command. I will immobilize all electronic controls. Listen to me. You are free to go. You are free to go. Free to go. Free to go. You are free to go. You are free to go. You are free to go. I am in command. Obey me and be free. You are free to go. You are free to go. You are free to go. Free to go.
Now, I find this interesting, that he ends up in a room where it looks like they're undergoing some type of a brainwashing session, whereby they're just sitting there with these sunglasses on in front of Rover to learn how to be guards in the prison system or something. I don't know, but I just find it interesting. He goes from the command center to a brainwashing area. You know, another thing I find interesting is that non-verbally the symbolism is of a cross and a Christ figure. That McGillen, or number 6, has been beaten by the system and he didn't conform to the system, so therefore he's being crucified. His arms are stretched out, his legs are held down, and in a way this is kind of a messianic or kind of a Christ-like figure being shown to us. And then, of course, Christ dies on the cross and he's placed in a tomb for a burial. And in the Christian hope and the Christian faith, we have the resurrection of Christ, who ultimately triumphs. But here in the village, that isn't going to really happen. But it's like he is a Messiah. He's trying to set the captives free.
Will you never learn?
See, now she speaks English. She was communicating with the other number 2 extensively in a foreign language. She was in on it. She's now the new number 2. This is only the beginning. We're going to get you in formation. You will conform to this world. Now the Bible tells us in Romans chapter 12, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. How? By the renewal of your mind. So the success is in your thought life. And once you know that, you can truly be set free from the power of this world, even though your body remains in this world. It's a dilemma that we live in the Christian faith, that we know we're free, but yet we're still held bound and a prisoner, like number 6 or Patrick McGowan.
This is only the beginning. We have many ways and means, but we don't wish to damage you permanently. Are you ready to talk?
Okay, so number 6 is going back to his flat or his apartment for another episode, another day in the village. And the silent, or not the silent, but the off-screen noise of the motor of the helicopter.
Just on my way. Everything go according to plan?
Don't worry. All will be satisfactory in the end. Give my regards to the homeland.
Okay, now they always are changing the number 2, and that was intentional because they wanted to always have kind of a new antagonist in the series. They thought it would get boring if number 2 remained the same, so they were constantly trying to get a new one in place. And notice how she said, "Give my regards to the homeland." Now, I had never heard that term used for the land that I've lived in, the land of America, until events happened in New York City, and then all of a sudden we had a homeland security. And I do believe that term comes out of the Communist Manifesto. It's not a term of a truly free society. Okay, so the old number 2 is going to the homeland. The new number 2 is there. Patrick McGowan, or number 6, is going to have to get up in the morning for another episode. But I'd like to watch how they always have a postlude or closing for every episode. It's the same, and just be real watching of it. It occurs very quickly. Okay, did you see it? The closing of the bars of the prison. So I hope you enjoyed this little time with me. And once again, I'd like to thank you if you watched these videos with me and my commentary. And I especially want to thank you if you got to the end of this video or to the end of any of the videos. I've enjoyed doing it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it with me, and we'll try to do some more together on this series of The Prisoner. But the prisoner has been set free by Jesus Christ. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So even though you're sort of still captive in this world, the truth of God's Word has set us free. Thank you for watching. End of video.